Queen Elizabeth II has steered the monarchy through decades of change while remaining a symbol of national stability in a shifting world. February the 6th marks 60 years since she took over the throne upon the death of her father, George VI. Born Elizabeth Alexandra Mary on April the 21st, 1926, the eldest child of the Duke and Duchess of York, she could have expected a supporting role in the monarchy, as her father was only second in line to the throne. But her life changed abruptly in 1936 when her uncle, King Edward VIII, renounced his claim to marry Wallis Simpson. The crown passed to his brother, who became George VI, and she moved with her parents and sister Margaret to Buckingham Palace to serve her apprenticeship in statecraft. Princess Elizabeth's adolescence was overshadowed by the Second World War, which she and her sister largely spent in the relative safety of Windsor Castle. At the age of 16, though, she registered with the local jobs office, and at her own request she joined the Women's Division of the British Army, the Auxiliary Territorial Service, where she received training in driving and vehicle maintenance. 2 years after the end of the war, she celebrated her 21st birthday while visiting South Africa, and shortly after her return came news of her engagement to her distant cousin, Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten, son of Prince Andrew of Greece and great-great-grandson of Britain's Queen Victoria. They were married in Westminster Abbey on November the 20th, 1947, in a ceremony attended by statesmen and royalty from around the world. The couple's first child, Prince Charles, was born in 1948, followed by Princess Anne in 1950, Prince Andrew in 1960, and Prince Edward in 1964. In February 1952, news of King George's death reached the royal couple during a visit to Kenya, and the princess returned to London as Queen Elizabeth II. Her coronation, though, didn't take place until at least a year later. At the age of 27, she was officially crowned as Queen in Westminster Abbey, with the ceremony broadcast throughout the world. The Queen's youth and gender turned out to be an asset in a country keen to make a fresh start after the war and years of austerity which followed. In July 1969, Prince Charles was invested as Prince of Wales at a ceremony in the 700-year-old Carnarvon Castle, and following tradition, he pledged his loyalty to the Queen. The Queen's only daughter, Princess Anne, married Captain Mark Phillips in November 1973, with the 23-year-old princess omitting the customary vow to obey her husband. In 1981, the trooping of the colour was marred by a man firing 6 blanks from a replica pistol as the Queen rode along the route of the parade. Her horse shied, but she was unhurt. Later that year, Prince Charles, at the age of 32, married 20-year-old Princess Diana. Crowds packed the streets to catch a glimpse of the royal couple as they rode past in an open carriage. Princess Diana gave birth to the couple's first son, William, in June 1982. The couple's second son, Harry, was born 2 years later. The same decade, in March 1986, the Queen's second son, Prince Andrew, announced his engagement to childhood friend Sarah Ferguson. The following decade saw the royal family under the public spotlight as never before. The Queen referred to 1992 as her annus horribilis during a banquet to mark her 40th year on the throne. During that year, Princess Anne's 18-year marriage ended in divorce. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson also announced their formal separation after 6 years of marriage. The Queen's favourite royal home, Windsor Castle, was badly damaged by fire, while the perilous state of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage was revealed in the biography Diana, Her True Story. And in December, they announced their separation. The years following, Princess Diana's popularity soared, and thousands mourned her passing as she was killed in a car crash in Paris on October the 31st, 1997. The Queen came under unprecedented pressure to recognise the nation's grief and pay public tribute to the people's princess. 10 years on from annus horribilis, and her sister, Princess Margaret, died in February 2002 after suffering a number of strokes. 2 months later, the Queen Mother died at the age of 101. 2002 was also the Queen's Golden Jubilee year. Less than a month after the funeral of her mother, the Queen undertook a tour marking her 50 years on the throne. It culminated in 4 days of nationwide celebrations in June. She celebrated her 80th birthday with a walkabout in Windsor on April the 21st, 2006, and has shown little sign of slowing down in her 9th decade. During her reign, she has broken new ground for the monarchy during many of her overseas visits and has acted as host to countless state leaders. In April 2009, she welcomed newly elected US President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama to Buckingham Palace. And in May 2011, the Queen made an historic state visit to the Republic of Ireland, the first by a British monarch since Ireland won independence from the UK in 1921. Last year saw the royal family again the focus of the world's cameras, with the wedding of the Queen's grandson, Prince William, to Kate Middleton in Westminster Abbey. During her reign, the Queen's personal standing has remained high. The 85-year-old monarch is seen as a dignified figure, much loved by royalists and respected even by Republicans.